Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Light Sports Ramble. As always, my pleasure. Had a hard time figuring out the topic today. Threw it out on Twitter. Give me a topic. Went to my favorite establishment, Detour Bar and Grill. Throw me out a topic. Heck, I even told people to call in and we'd talk about a topic. Now, granted, I didn't give a lot of time, so tomorrow I'm going to try this again. Anybody listening today, I'm going to try a call-in show tomorrow. So if you're interested in calling and talking to me live while I record, DM me. And let's talk about the details. And I'll try to speakerphone my other cell phone and we'll see if it'll work. I think it'll be fun. So my friend Toy said talk about the Bengals. And that led me to think, you know what? I'm going to talk about the power rankings that I looked at today on ESPN.com and Sports Nation. Now, they did a power ranking before the draft, and this is post-draft before the regular season. So my understanding is that this is a ranking based on paper. And if it's based on paper, there's some inconsistencies going on here. Because it's clearly based on paper. So at the bottom of it, and I recommend you all go check it out, ESPN.go.com. Go down to the power rankings, look at them. It's pretty cool, actually. You can actually go in and rank your top teams. And so I did that. And mine are a bit different. Because right now, all we can do is rank teams based on paper. And so with that said, that ranking is a crock. Because there's no way Seattle on paper is the best team in the NFL. If you're going to go talent for talent, position by position, the Broncos are number one. On paper, the Broncos are number one. Seattle's not even number two. If you're going to go number two, it's the 49ers. 3, I will throw the Falcons in there at number 3. I will gladly do that. But the power rankings that were there had Seattle number 1, the Falcons number 2, the 49ers number 3, Broncos 4, Packers 5. Now, I'm okay with the top 4. I agree with the top 4, just not the order. No games have been played. So if we're ranking on paper, I would rank Broncos 1, 49ers 2, Seattle 3, the Falcons 4, and I'm sorry to my Packer fans. Those that listen know I am a beloved Packer fan, but they are not number 5 on paper. The Houston Texans should be number 5. And I'm sorry, Toy, the debate you want to have about the Bengals on paper, they should be higher than they are. I'd move them up to number 6 because on paper, that's where they would fall in. So my point is, these rankings are a crock. It's all based on fans. And it just goes to show the Packers have a great fan base, very loyal, and they're saying they're the 5th best team, but they're not on paper. Now, could they go into San Francisco on Sunday and win? Yes, I think they're going to. And you'll hear all my predictions on Friday's Red Light Sports Ramble about the games on Sunday. I think the Packers win Sunday. Because they're going to go in with a chip on their shoulder. But that's for a different episode. And so that's going to bring me into this whole thing about fan base and being real. Because if you go look at the rankings, the Raiders are near the bottom. Raider fans, everybody says, oh, they're mean, they're just rude, so on and so forth. I'm going to tell you something. The Raiders played at Lambeau Field, and I went to the game, and I tailgated with Raider fans. And they're probably the nicest people in the world. They are passionate about football, like Green Bay Packer fans are. Yeah, they might be rooting their home stadium, but they're cheering for their team, as do the Packer fans. But I'm going to tell you, I went to Philadelphia for the playoff game when the Packers beat them in the first round of the playoffs when they won the Super Bowl. And Eagle fans are just downright nasty rude. You don't need to be getting physical with other fans in the stands because they're cheering for their team. You're going to start something, you don't need to get physical with it. And so in the rankings, I think you're ranked higher than you should be. And that's going to lead me to this. You guys need to check this out. Go down to the comments. There's an Eagle fan saying the Eagles are going to go 16-0. Then he amended it and said 19-0 if you count the playoffs. What are you smoking? There is no way that your team is going 16-0 and then running the table in the playoffs. There is no way in the world that's happening. You are just crazy, my friend. There is no way in the world that's happening. No way in the world. So, my point about fans are, you need to be realistic. Now, I'm not saying that there's Packer fans that don't get overzealous and say, hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. All fans do that. My problem is, you need to be realistic about what's going on. Just be realistic, please. And so back to my point, these power rankings in the first week of the season, before a game's been played, just a crock. Just a pure crock. Just enough to get the fans all going on and saying, my team's this and my team is that. Let's wait till the games are played. When the games are played, I want to take a look at the rankings. Then we'll see if we're evaluating these teams fairly. Because that's what it's about. But these rankings are about as good as the AP college poll. You know, there's just no validity to them. Especially when I ranked my teams, then I looked at how the scoring went or the point value went. Heck, I could just go there, and then all of a sudden, I've got, 10,000 fans saying how great my team is. Like, for example, the Panthers being ranked as high as they are. That's great, fans. That's great in Carolina. But get real. Just get real and know where your talent level is on that team. You're just going to let yourself down for failure. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Be realistic about the talent level on your team. So, again, when I looked at the poll, I have true respect for Raider fans. And even Jet fans. They love their team. They know their team sucks. They're not ranking them number one. So I just looked at this and said, there's a lot of fan bases that are unrealistic. Packer fans included. They're not the fifth best team in the NFL, folks. No way. Not with that subpar offensive line. And I said it yesterday in the Ramble. I had high hopes for a running game. And if we would have had a running game and Bulaga wouldn't have got hurt, I would say 5 is good. Bulaga's hurt and is a patchwork line. They're not the fifth best team until they prove it to me. That line is still subpar. Now, I love the Packers. I'm just being real. Aaron Rodgers is going to get sacked 40 to 50 times again, and we're not going to have a running game. That's just reality. And people might hate me for this, but Patriot fans, I'm going to give you respect. Your team is not in the top 5. They're in the top 10, but you're realistic. You have no receivers. Undrafted wide receivers playing. Brady has to elevate their game. I have props for fans that realize how their team actually will do. Fans that are realistic about what's going to happen. So with that said, folks, that's the Ramble tonight. Putting it out. Those that listen, tomorrow I want to try and have a live call-in show. If you want to be part of it, DM me on Twitter. It's It Happens 70. That is my handle. It Happens 70. DM me, get some details. I'd like to have 2 or 3 callers that'll be able to do this tomorrow to see if it'll work. With that said, I'll see you at the next red light, people. Enjoy your night.